You're looking to escape New York City, but you're not quitting your job, meaning you still need to commute back. Well, in today's video, I'm gonna be breaking all that down and what does it look like going over 4 different counties in northern New Jersey to break down what the commute's gonna look like, the pros and cons of every county for someone that needs New York City, but wants to get out of New York City. Oh, and guess what? I'm also gonna be talking a little bit about Long Island. Does it make sense? We'll find out in today's video. So we're gonna have right at it, but these are the counties we're going over. Let's go right to the map and get this show started. My name's Sean McAteer. I'm the team leader of the Living North Jersey real estate team. I get phone calls, texts, emails every single day from people just like you looking to buy, sell, invest in northern New Jersey. Let's see what's happening here. All right, here we are, New York City. This is where you might be living right now. Maybe you need to commute to Manhattan, whatever it is. But nonetheless, this is where we are at. And now I'm gonna be looking up things like Long Island just to see if Long Island is even a contender for you. Hey, look, maybe it is, not a big deal. Go check it out. Not stopping you. But this is what I always like to say about Long Island is plain and simple. It is an island. So in order to get anywhere, you must go through New York City in some of the most congested roadways in America. You have to go over the Throgs Neck Bridge, the Triborough Bridge. Then you have to maybe take the George Washington Bridge, or maybe you're gonna go upstate. In order to escape Long Island, you have to go through all of this, and it is congested. The reason I know this is because I've done many commutes to Long Island. I used to be a project manager in New York City. We'd get jobs on the island. I would go out there and it didn't matter if it was 6 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 12 in the afternoon on a weekend. It didn't make a difference. There was always traffic, especially this 495. That gets so much congestion. And then when you get to the major crossings, not just the congestion, but also the price, very expensive. So whenever I was on the island, I felt trapped. I wasn't a huge fan of it because in order for me to escape it, I have to go through all this. And you know, to get to nature, to see the greenery, there is not much green going on this map here. What I mean by that is all this here, you know, this is green here, okay, but mainly it is developed. So to escape all of that, it's not exactly easy. That being said, that's why my focal point is on New Jersey suburbs, because my guess is if you're wanting to escape the city, you might also want to, you know, be able to do other things. Maybe look at all this green out here. So we'll be diving deeper on that in a little bit, especially when I get to Morris County. But today's video, we're gonna be going over Hudson County, Bergen County, Morris County, and Essex County, diving deep with them all, doing some pros and cons of what to expect. So diving right into it, let's start off with Hudson County. I'm gonna type it out here on the map so you know exactly where it is. And then I'm sure I'll even get this thing lit up a little bit more. Let's see here. Okay, there it is. So yeah, Hudson County, very close to New York City. You see it is all this area in here. Matter of fact, it might actually pop right now. Hopefully it does that. And that's where everything is. So what you're getting in Hudson County is you're kind of getting a small New York City. So this is where you have to make that decision. It's like, do you hate the city because of it being a city and you want nature? You're not really gonna be getting that in Hudson County. It's gonna be a cheaper alternative to New York City, Manhattan, a lot of the times, but you're still gonna have to have that city lifestyle. Now, what's great about Hudson County is you have things like the PATH train, very easy to get in to New York City via the PATH. That is short stops, it moves quick, it constantly running, so very easy way of getting in. There's also ferry service, bus service, jitneys. You get a little bit of everything from Jersey City for getting into NYC. So you definitely get that amazing proximity with the awesome commute and transportation. But things like parking are still going to be a hassle. You know, street parking is not going to be easy. It's going to be costly to have. You know, parking garage. So all things you want to consider. The way I look at it is, look, if you love the city and you just want a more cost-efficient alternative, Hudson County is great. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a really smart move. But if you don't like the city, well, you might want to start moving a little further west, or maybe to our next county, which is going to be Bergen County. So let me type that in. And like I said, if you really want to get that nature living, that's gonna be Morris County. I'll be talking about that in a little bit towards the end. Something else I'm gonna bring up throughout this video, I'm gonna actually bring it all together with a really special surprise at the end. You have to wait to see what this one is, but I'm hoping you're a fan like I am. So here we go. So this is Bergen County. What's cool about Bergen County is you're bordering New York State, you're bordering Passaic County, Morris County, you're bordering a bunch of counties, but you're getting a little bit more nature, but you know, a little bit more separation and all that kind of stuff. Now, things that you have to consider is it's an expensive county. Hudson County is as well, but you know, Bergen County is one of the most expensive in New Jersey. So your cost of living is going to go up. You're going to get a little bit more property, all that kind of stuff, but you just got to be prepared for that type of stuff. Now, one of the things that I always point out with Bergen County is on the map here, it's great. You know, you have the Garden State Parkway that comes through. You have Route 17. So something that's a little bit different is on the map here, Garden State Parkway looks like a big highway, and it is. Route 17 also looks like a big highway, but that's kind of like a there's some traffic lights, a little bit stop and go in places. So, you know, you want to know these things because they do get a little bit more congested. It's not a major federal highway or a state highway like the Garden State Parkway is. It's more of like a county road per se, where it moves, but at times it gets slow. So you want to take these into consideration. But the biggest thing I want to point out with Bergen County is, you see how close you are to New York City? Well, look, it looks close on a map, but you have to cross the Hudson River, which is not exactly always easy. So you have to go up to the Tappan Zee Bridge, or you can go to the George Washington Bridge. But if you're stuck somewhere over here, let's say in the Old Tappan, Northfield, Emerson, Westwood, Demarest, to get over into New York City or to get to a major highway, you have to go through all these little back roads. And I'm not kidding you, because, you know, especially when I was growing up or maybe going through college, I was doing a lot of work in these areas with my wife's business. And, you know, to go from Norwood to Harrington Park to Emerson, this is a long drive because it's all small, windy little roads. There's no major highway that connects this portion, and it's very densely populated. So from going from one part of Bergen County to the other, the proximity is there, it's close on a map, but it might take you a long time. So that's something to consider. You just have to, it's a different style of living. Another thing you're gonna wanna watch out for here with Bergen County is they are closed on weekends, on Sundays, with shopping and stores and stuff like that. It's one of the few counties in the nation that do this, but it's old laws that they have in place. So you just want to be aware of that you want to get the bulk of your shopping done possibly on a Saturday or before the Sunday, because they close a lot of shops. Some really good positives that I love about Bergen County is, once again, you are very close, especially in a place like Fort Lee. You literally just go right over the bridge. You're in New York City. You do have the bus and jitney lines to get into the city, which are very good, very efficient for going over the GW. The train line you want to watch out for. I hate to throw another con in there, but the train line in Bergen County, it's there, but you have to go to the Secaucus Junction, meaning you take the train down over here, you're gonna go over here to Secaucus somewhere, and then you have to get off the train and on to another train. So something you really want to consider. Now look, if you're maybe working remote or you don't need the city every single day, that's not too bad. But you know, if you want to get that proximity where you're very close to the city, you need to get in every day, you're probably going to want to be in the southern section of Bergen County, meaning you know, anything down here, I would say you're pretty easy for getting in. Up here, you know, things like Route 4 it becomes a traffic jam. It really does, because of the George Washington Bridge. So when you see Route 4 here, it gets very, very congested. It gets stopped. So when you're past it, you know, you're up here on 17, you're in the Mawa area, you might be out there, just so you know. Okay, let's keep moving along here, and we're gonna go over to Essex County and see what's happening over there. Now, as we keep moving a little bit further west, you'll see a nice mix here. So what I like about Essex County is you have, you know, a major city like Newark, the Irvington, East Orange, those areas. But then after that, it starts getting very much more urbanized. You see a little bit more green going on. You're starting to see it more, but it's still a really nice combination of urban living and nature. So if you're into that, this might be the county for you. On top of it, you're gonna see that the direct line transit, like the train lines for getting in, extremely beneficial. You'll see most of the towns are gonna have it. All right, so what I did here is I pulled up the Morris Exit Essex train line, and Milburn right here in the heart of Essex County, he's gonna have the train going right through it. But this is what's really cool about it, is the amount of stops that you're gonna see that are gonna be 30 minutes or less to get into New York City on a commuter rail. You're gonna have places like Milburn, you're gonna have Maplewood, South Orange, City of Orange, East Orange. So you have a lot of these easy to get into NYC. What's great about all these towns is they have little downtowns. You'll see, you know, the coffee shops, the pizzerias, all that kind of stuff. A place like Milburn, where you really can go and shop around per se, where they got a lot going on in terms of, you know, just the development of the town. You see some of the overview here. I'm sure we got some more photos popping up, see some of the street life, but we'll actually have a couple videos going through the downtown, which I'm sure are probably popping up. See the downtown a little bit more, but you know, a place like Essex County is great for getting into NYC. Let me bring that back up on the map again, because you're getting that NYC direct transit line. What's also great about it is you're gonna have Route 280 is a major highway that cuts right through. Really good. So 280 will bring you straight to the Holland Tunnel. You obviously get off and take some side roads and everything, get in there, but brings you that proximity, connects you to 95. So 95 does come through Essex County as well, which is the New Jersey Turnpike. A little small chunk of 78 goes through, and then the Garden State Parkway. So you're getting major highways, and what I like about it is you see these highways, they are splitting Essex County. So if you're in a place like West Caldwell, it's easy to get to a highway. If you're in a place like Maplewood, it's easy to get to a highway. You know, you're unlike Bergen County, where you can be trapped in per se in some areas. You know, even a place like Montclair, you have highways like Route 46 and everything. You're close to the Garden State Parkway, so you're not in a far commute. You can get to pretty much a highway in under 15 minutes, no matter where you are in Essex County, even if you're deep in a tight little town. Okay, some of the downfalls that you're gonna experience with Essex, and this is probably the biggest downfall, this is like New Jersey 101, is the taxes. There are a lot of taxes, you know, very high taxes. I've got properties in Caldwell, it was in Essex County, and yeah, they are high property taxes. So that is a huge consideration in this, but you're kind of getting a lot with it, with the NYC direct train and the highways and everything like that. So that's why I'm making videos like this, is because I want you to make a decision. But really quick, why don't you drop a comment below? Are you more into nature, or are you more into urban life? Do you need proximity to NYC? I want to know more about what you're looking for, because that is me answering these questions on here, just so you know. And I make a lot of content based on the feedback I get from you. Okay, moving along here, and really quick, like I said, I'm gonna have a super cool surprise. I'm gonna be kicking off on here in a little bit, so stick around for that. But let's keep moving along now. We're gonna go to Morris County. And by the way, there's plenty of other counties. We got Union County, we got Passaic County, we've got Essex, Sussex County. The reason I picked these counties is just because for the video's sake, I didn't want to make this a 2-hour long masterpiece here. But okay, Morris County. So the biggest difference here is what's great about Morris County, and one of my favorite parts about it is it's the first county, especially if you're looking here on the map, where you are going from urban to nature. You really hit nature in Morris County, but it's not too overbearing yet, where like you're up here in Sussex or Warren, it is all nature. You know, your neighbors are far apart. You're in a septic system. You know, maybe your power's going out a little bit more, things like that. In Morris County, you know, you're hitting the nature, but you're still getting downtowns. You're still getting commuting towns, all things like that. So that's one of the reasons why I love Morris so much. Being completely transparent, if you need to get into NYC every single day, it might not be the best place for you. Now, I was commuting from Morris County to NYC for a couple years when I was younger, didn't mind it. I'd get up super early, get up at like 5 a.m. to go to the city to beat the traffic. But that's how I handled it. Now I've got neighbors, I got friends that are commuting. A lot of times they'll actually drive over to, they'll take Route 280 and go over to the East Orange station here because there's a lot of parking. You hop on the train there and jet into the city. Or you can go to places like Denville, where Denville has a direct line train. It's on the Morris-Essex line to get into NYC. Another standout town is gonna be Morris Plains, that also has the train. And then Morristown, that is kind of like, you know, one of the go-to hubs. I have a lot of videos and content on that. Actually, I'll probably put one in the description below. It has like a map tour breaking down everything you need to know about Morristown, because it's one of the hot spots that, especially if you want the nightlife, or maybe some new construction condos, stuff like that. Morristown has it. A couple other towns that are gonna have that NYC direct transit line is gonna be Madison, Chatham. So you definitely have the train, but you're further away. The way I always look at the train map is once you pass Summit, which is in Union County, the Summit area, which is somewhere right over here. I think actually this is Summit here. But once you pass that, it does start getting a little bit longer, a little bit further of a commute. So in these towns, you're probably looking anywhere from, let's say 40 minutes to 45 to 50 minutes, you know, maybe an hour or so once you get to Denville. Now look, the train goes even further west. You go as far up as Mount Olive actually has a train station now, and then there's a huge commuting rail in the Roxbury area. So if you want to go further west and you're okay with the commute, maybe you know, hop on the laptop, get some work done. You're gonna be on the train for over an hour, but you know, you have that option, okay? So that's gonna be the biggest thing is Morris County, you're getting that nature, you're getting that urban life, you get a combination of both, but you can see you are, you know, a little bit further from NYC, being that you're trying to get over here, and bam, that's Morris County, all right? So how else do we get around here? Now look, we have, what's great about this is we're gonna have a huge portion of 287 goes through Morris County, and I love 287. You hear me talk about that in a lot of my videos because that's a major ring that goes around NYC, so you get the proximity to a lot of other neighboring towns. Route 80 goes through Morris County, so you got that, and that goes all the way out. But what I like, and to my point here, I was making earlier with Long Island, is I always felt that trap sensation when I was on Long Island. What I love about Morris County is you can go easily to the city if you want to go to the cities for today, but you can easily go west as well and go into places like you know, the Delaware Water Gap, where you can do some rafting and hiking and all that kind of stuff. So Morris County is set up really good for that. Something else that I like about it is the lower taxes. You tend to find lower taxes in Morris County, so that's pretty cool if you're into that. Why don't you drop a comment below if you're into lower taxes? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know, you tell me. But yeah, so here we are diving deep with this. Something really important as well is make sure you click subscribe so you can stay up to date on videos when they come out. I release videos every single week about New Jersey suburbs just for you. Only way to know about it is if you click subscribe, and definitely hit the bell, okay? So yeah, that's my take on Morris County. Now look, I was saying I also have this extra little surprise here I want to break down, and this is the first time I'm doing it on a map, so I'm really excited, but I'm gonna be bringing up the Costco's. You know me, I am Sean McIntyre, the team leader of the Living North Jersey real estate team, but a lot of times people call me the Costco guy because I love Costco. All right, so really quick here, we're gonna, now look, once again, so the first thing I pop out to is there is no Costco because these are all small, little, tight towns. If you love that walkability, you walk to the downtown, tight neighborhoods, Bergen County's for you, but getting to that Costco, I'm telling you, from over here to there, it's not exactly a quick drive. It could be 30 plus minutes, maybe 40 minutes, especially if there's some traffic. Something I didn't really talk about much in all these, and I'll do it really quick as I'm going through this, is the walkability. So here we are in Hudson County once again. You have a brand new Bayonne Costco. I mean, the thing's like 5 or 6 years old. A lot of parking, which is so rare for Hudson County. But you get that parking lot where you can come right in. You got it all going on here. So a really good Costco in that capacity. I love Hoboken because it is very walkable. Hudson County, you can get places very easy. Let's see, as we go a little bit west, we have the Union Costco, which is in Union County, but Essex County, you know, they gotta swap Costco's here. They're gonna go to the Union one, or possibly one of the best ones out there is the Wayne Costco. And what's so special about that one is the fact that they sell Kirkland alcohol. So if you're into a little drink and have a good time like that, Kirkland alcohol is sold there and it's very, very cheap. So we always like the Wayne Costco. Morris County, that is right over here. This is gonna be the East Hanover Costco, as I pointed to earlier. And then they also have the Wharton Costco. So Morris County gets these two, but once again, if you're in western parts of New Jersey, western Morris County, you might be a little bit far from Costco's as well. So you let me know. I hope this video helps so you can make that decision if leaving New York City, where you want to go, New Jersey Suburbs is the right place for you. Hope to see you on the next one. You might want to click the video right here because that's going to keep showing you more about New Jersey Suburbs.